January. I watched a lot of movies in January. To be specific, I believe I saw over 30 movies in January. And today, I am going to speedrun what I watched, my favorites from the month, my least favorites from the month, and just generally give y'all an overview of what I watched in January and whether or not it's worth it for you to watch. So the way this is going to work is I'm first going to run through every single movie I saw this month, and I'll give, the poster and my TCAS rating for it. For those of you who don't know, TCAS stands for Technique, Cinematography, Audio, and Story. It's basically the cinema score of what I saw, and the cinema score and enjoyment score can vary wildly, so that is taken into effect when I rate things. Grab some popcorn, sit on down, and let's get into the list of what I saw this month. I started off the month with Stranger Things 5, the finale. Bring Her Back. 28 years later. The Phoenician Scheme. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. The Naked Gun, 2025. The Perfect Neighbor. A Believer, this was a short film. OCD, this was another short film. The Wait, yet another short film. I kind of went on a kick watching short films here for a hot minute. The Apprentice. Primate. Greenland 2, Migration. Bullet Train. Astronauts. This is yet another short film. Gretel and Hansel. Memories of Murder. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Knives Out. Together. The Big Year. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Again. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Interstellar. The Cook. This was a short film. Cope. This was a short film. Interstellar. Again, because thank you so much, our local theater, for showing it as a flashback cinema showing and having multiple showings of it, because I got to take multiple friends to see it, and it was really, really great and an amazing time. Crash Site. Yet another short film. Oppenheimer. Every Living, Breathing Moment, aka the best short film I've seen in a hot minute. Snowpiercer. Mercy. And I finished off the month with a movie I've been waiting a really long time, and I'm so happy I finally got to see, Iron Lung. So let's first go over my least favorites from the month, and I'm going to kind of rapid fire this to try and not dwell on it too much. The honorable mention for worst of the month is a couple short films that I won't name by name. Some of the short films I just didn't really care for, or I felt were poorly made, rushed, not very well executed. It's not the end of the world, though. It's a short film, hence why I'm not calling out short films by name necessarily. And actually, a very, very interesting thing. For the first time ever in doing this format, this listicle format of this What I Watched This Month series, I don't have 5 movies that were my least favorites from the month. There were some mid movies, but I hate to throw a movie that I felt was mid in with my least favorites from the month. So we are actually only going to have 3 least favorite entries for the month of January. And the first of those is Gretel and Hansel. This is actually a movie I watched for a video. It was a video that at the time of starting this I didn't realize I would be making, but then I very, very quickly realized I would be making because I have almost seen a director's whole filmography. The atmosphere is very, very cool in this movie, but that's about it. It feels kind of like, to be perfectly honest, it feels like a concept film that was not fully fleshed out. So it tells the story of Gretel and Hansel, but it doesn't tell it in what feels like a normal way. The gothic feel is awesome. It's really, really great. The feeling of fear for the kids is also great. But the execution of one particular character, if you haven't read Gretel and Hansel, I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, it's a classic children's book. The witch was pretty poorly done, in my opinion. She wasn't really this scary, menacing threat that I was looking for, and that was just kind of upsetting, considering the fact that, like, she's the main antagonist, and that, you know, it's supposed to all revolve around her, and it felt very, very weak, and I did not rate it very highly for those reasons. Number 2 on the list is The Big Year. This is a movie about bird watching, by the way. So we're already off to a great start. This, to me at least, fails on both of the fronts it tries at. It fails on the drama and the comedy fronts, which is really, really funny to me, considering you have some really, really good dramatic actors in this, but more so, you've got Owen Wilson and Jack Black and Steve Martin. Some of the, at the time this was made, most prolific comedic actors, like some of the actual funniest people working in the industry, and they just felt squandered. They just felt kind of sort of wasted. It felt like you could have cast anyone in those roles, and that it wasn't specifically their roles. It also, the style of comedy, to me at least, feels very 1990s, and that's not really amazing to have in a 2010 movie. It just felt very, very dull. It felt like birdwatching was a central part of the story. The human drama kind of went hand in hand with the birdwatching. It was not absolutely awful, and I'm not saying I will absolutely never watch this again or anything like that, but it just fell flat. It just fell flat and wasn't an enjoyable watch at all. And the number 1 least favorite movie of mine that I saw in January this year was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And I simply put this on here because, say what you will about A24 movie endings, I'm usually cool with an ending even if I did not personally like it or did not personally think it was the best ending that could have happened. Example, I do not like the ending of Eddington, but I understand the ending of Eddington. I don't like this ending at all. I don't like, and I simultaneously do not particularly understand the ending of this. It is just very, very aggravating, and I know this probably wasn't the director's intention, but it felt kind of insulting watching it. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but all I'm going to say is it's really, really dumb. It's really, really aggravating. And I know some people absolutely love the ending of this movie because they think it fits someone very, very perfectly. But dadgummit, man, it just was so dadgum aggravating. And hurricane parties are also forever ruined for me now. Anyways, let's get off the negatives, dadgummit, and let's move on to the positives. My favorite movies I watched this month, the best movies I watched this month. I saw a lot of bangers, and admittedly, I didn't see that many movies that I didn't enjoy this month, which I am really, really thankful for. My honorable mention for favorites from the month are multiple short films, mainly Astronauts, OCD, and Cope. All of them are right here available on YouTube. In fact, I'll actually link all 3 of those down below. All 4, because you're fixing to see about the one. I'll link those short films down below because they're available to watch literally right now completely for free, which is, to be perfectly honest, the first time I could say that about something I've done on this series, I believe. Number 5 on my favorites from the month is Bring Her Back. And even though I rated this a little bit lower than what I would usually put in my favorites from the month, I keep thinking about this movie, and I keep wanting to rewatch it because it did some really, really interesting things. I personally think it was better than Talk to Me. I think it said some more interesting things and dove into the topic of grief a little bit more than Talk to Me. It is an admittedly very, very heavy movie, but it's a Philippo Brothers movie. I don't know why you weren't expecting that. It's very good, and it's fascinating to me, the YouTube to pretty great horror director pipeline. That's really, really fascinating, and it's something you're gonna see later in this video, actually coming up very, very soon again. Number 4 on my favorites from the month was Every Living Breathing Moment, and this is the best short film I've ever seen. I'm just gonna be honest, it's the best short film I've ever seen. We need to be giving the director of this movie some money. We need to be giving this director a budget, because it's amazing. It's really, really good. It's so beautiful. The score is so amazing. If you've probably heard the score on TikTok, dun 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 dun, that gets faster over time. And it's usually put like over an inspirational edit or something like that. And that's the score from this short film. It is a phenomenally scored piece, and I think it's just a really, really good short film overall. Says some really interesting things, and it's very, very good. I would give it a watch. Yet again, it's linked in the description down below, because it's right here on YouTube, free to watch. Isn't that awesome? Number 3 on this list is Interstellar, and I know I try my best to not put rewatches on this list just because I think it's unfair, but our theater showed Interstellar, and I ended up catching Interstellar on the big screen twice, and it just got better, even though I literally went on a Saturday and then a Sunday to go watch it. It just got better with time. It was amazing. It was really, really good. I really loved it. Everything that can be said about Interstellar has already been said, so I'm not gonna like try and exude some profound statement about the movie, because it's great. It's really, really great, and I'm so happy I got to experience it on the big screen. My number 2 is Iron Lung, and this is not quite number 1. It barely misses the number 1 spot, and you'll see why in just a minute, but dadgummit, it's really close. Iron Lung is actually the first movie that was on my watch list on Letterboxd. It's actually one of the reasons I got Letterboxd, was because somebody was talking about how they added Iron Lung to their Letterboxd watch list immediately, and I was like, what the heck is Letterboxd? So, quite literally, first movie that was ever on my watch list, I finally got to mark off the watch list, and that is an awesome feeling. And I've been sat waiting for this movie. They had to remove me from the theater. I've been in the theater every day for the last year just waiting for it to come out. I finally got to see the movie, and it was an absolute treat. And I am going to be making a full-length video review. I missed the first 5 minutes of the movie, so we're going again later today to see the last 5 minutes of the movie. I feel like I need to see the beginning of the movie to give an accurate review of the movie before I just launch right in. It's an amazing film. It's at number 2. Didn't quite get the number 1 spot from me, and that is because 28 years later, The Bone Temple is just legitimately, I am shocked at how cohesive this is, at how well it gels with the first movie. My biggest concern about The Bone Temple was I was worried that Nia DaCosta was going to try and emulate Danny Boyle's style, his like kind of experimental directing style, and I think what she did end up doing and what she did end up giving us is absolutely perfect. I think it's a fantastic movie. Frankly, I think if you did not like 28 Years Later, I think you will like The Bone Temple, because The Bone Temple does still give you that world. It does still give you that atmosphere. And guess what? Yes, there are some things that are, you know, don't exactly make sense, like how the heck has word about the Jimmys not going around and whatnot. Suspend belief, dadgummit. You're not going to be able to perfectly pick apart the plot of every single movie. This was really, really great. I think as a horror movie, it succeeds more than 28 Years Later. I feel like it took all of the things people didn't like about 28 Years Later, and it either got rid of or significantly toned those down, and then made that a part of this film. And the ending of The Bone Temple as well, very, very good ending. Extremely good ending. And I'm very, very excited for part 3 of this story. Fantastic movie. I would argue that this is kinda, sorta the case of Batman Begins versus The Dark Knight in terms of first movie and sequel. It feels like there is information in the first movie that is essential to you understanding the second movie better, but the second movie is just so strong that it really, really works on all fronts. It's firing on all cylinders, and I just loved it. It was a really, really great time. Thank y'all so much for watching this What I Watched in January video. If you haven't seen some of the stuff in my top 5 favorites of the month, definitely consider giving them a watch. And consider subscribing, because in February, this is already like a very, very stacked year for movies. In February, we're getting movies like Crime 101, like Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, like Wuthering Heights. Just a lot of good stuff is coming out in February. A lot of stuff I'm concerned about too, so be sure to subscribe to see if it makes my top 5 or bottom 5 for the month. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to y'all later.